Judas Iscariot is a name synonymous with betrayal. He is infamous for his role in the Christian narrative as the disciple who betrayed Jesus Christ. This act had profound consequences, leading to Jesus' crucifixion and shaping the course of Christian history. Judas's story is one of immense tragedy and enduring fascination. The Gospels offer limited insight into his motivations, leaving much open to interpretation. This ambiguity has fueled centuries of theological debate and artistic exploration. From medieval paintings to modern literature, Judas has been variously portrayed as a villain, a victim, and a tragic hero. This essay delves into the complex legacy of Judas Iscariot. It examines the historical, theological, and cultural dimensions of his story. By exploring the different interpretations of Judas, we gain a deeper understanding of his enduring impact on Christian thought and imagination. To understand Judas's actions, we must consider the historical context in which they occurred. First-century Judea was a land under Roman occupation, a period marked by political instability and social unrest. The Jewish people yearned for a Messiah, a liberator who would free them from Roman rule and restore their kingdom. Within this volatile climate, various factions emerged, each with their own vision for the future of Judea. The Pharisees, a religious and political group, advocated for strict adherence to Jewish law. The Sadducees, often associated with the priestly aristocracy, collaborated with Roman authorities. The Zealots, a radical faction, favored armed rebellion against Rome. Jesus' teachings, emphasizing love, forgiveness, and the kingdom of God, challenged the existing power structures. His message resonated with some but threatened others. The Roman authorities feared his growing popularity, while some religious leaders viewed his teachings as subversive. Judas, as one of Jesus' disciples, would have been acutely aware of the political and religious tensions of his time. This context is crucial to understanding the choices he made and their far-reaching consequences. The betrayal of Jesus by Judas is a pivotal event in Christian tradition. It marks a turning point in the narrative, setting in motion the events that lead to Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. The Gospels recount how Judas, for 30 pieces of silver, identified Jesus to the authorities, leading to his arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane. This act of betrayal is laden with symbolic weight. It represents the ultimate violation of trust and loyalty, particularly poignant within the intimate circle of Jesus' disciples. The Gospels describe Judas's action with a sense of shock and horror, emphasizing the gravity of his sin. The betrayal scene is often depicted in art and literature, capturing the drama and emotional intensity of the moment. The image of Judas's kiss, a symbol of friendship and affection used to betray Jesus, has become an enduring icon of treachery and deceit. Judas's betrayal had immediate and far-reaching consequences. It led directly to Jesus' arrest, trial, and ultimately his crucifixion. This act, however, also paved the way for the central tenets of Christian faith: Jesus' sacrifice for the sins of humanity and his subsequent resurrection. The Gospels tell us that Judas received 30 pieces of silver as payment for his betrayal of Jesus. This sum, the price of a slave in ancient times, adds another layer of meaning to the narrative. It highlights the callous nature of Judas's act, reducing the life of Jesus to a mere monetary value. The 30 pieces of silver became a symbol of Judas's guilt and remorse. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Judas, overcome by guilt, returned the money to the chief priests before taking his own life. This act further underscores the tragic consequences of his betrayal, both for Jesus and for himself. The motif of the 30 pieces of silver has resonated throughout history. It serves as a reminder of the corrosive power of greed and the devastating impact of betrayal. In literature and art, it often symbolizes the wages of sin and the heavy burden of guilt. The story of Judas and the 30 pieces of silver continues to provoke reflection on the nature of value and the corrupting influence of material wealth. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing personal gain over loyalty, integrity, and human life. Section 5, Judas and the Question of Free Will, a Theological Dilemma. Judas's betrayal of Jesus raises profound theological questions, particularly concerning the nature of free will and predestination. If God is omniscient, knowing all past, present, and future, did Judas have the free will to choose otherwise? Or was his betrayal preordained, a necessary event in God's plan for salvation? Christian theologians have grappled with these questions for centuries. Some argue that Judas acted with free will, making a conscious choice to betray Jesus. They point to Judas's remorse as evidence of his understanding of the gravity of his sin. Others contend that Judas's betrayal was part of God's divine plan. They argue that Jesus' sacrifice was necessary for the redemption of humanity, and Judas played a predetermined role in this plan. The debate over free will and predestination has no easy answers. It touches on the very nature of God, human agency, and the problem of evil. Judas's story serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of faith and the enduring mystery at the heart of Christian theology. Section 6. Shifting Perspectives, Judas in History and Theology. Judas's portrayal has evolved throughout history, reflecting changing social, cultural, and theological perspectives. In early Christian writings, he is generally depicted as a villain, the embodiment of treachery and greed. This view is reinforced in medieval art, where Judas is often portrayed as a grotesque figure, physically distinct from the other disciples. During the Renaissance, some artists and writers began to explore Judas's inner turmoil, portraying him with a degree of sympathy. This shift reflects a growing interest in human psychology and the complexities of motivation. The Reformation brought about a renewed emphasis on biblical literalism, solidifying Judas's image as a condemned sinner. Modern interpretations of Judas are more nuanced, often seeking to understand his actions within their historical and psychological context. Some scholars view him as a tragic figure, caught between competing loyalties or driven by misguided zeal. Others see him as a victim of circumstance, manipulated by forces beyond his control. Section 7. Modern Interpretations, Reassessing Judas's Motives. Modern scholars and theologians continue to debate Judas's motivations, offering a range of interpretations that challenge traditional views. Some argue that Judas may have been motivated by political aspirations, believing that Jesus was a political messiah who would overthrow Roman rule. In their view, Judas's betrayal was an act of misguided zeal, an attempt to force Jesus' hand. Others suggest that Judas, disillusioned by Jesus' teachings or disappointed by his lack of action against Roman oppression, may have betrayed him out of resentment or anger. This interpretation portrays Judas as a complex figure wrestling with doubt and frustration. Some scholars even propose that Judas acted with Jesus' knowledge and consent, suggesting that the betrayal was part of a larger plan for Jesus' sacrifice. This controversial theory, while lacking clear scriptural support, highlights the enduring fascination with Judas's role in the Passion narrative. Section 8. The cultural impact of Judas, from art to literature. Judas's story, laden with drama and theological significance, has had a profound impact on Western culture, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and music. From medieval paintings depicting the Last Supper and the kiss of Judas to Renaissance sculptures capturing the agony of betrayal, artists have grappled with the visual representation of Judas's actions and their consequences. Literature, too, has found fertile ground in the story of Judas. Dante Alighieri places Judas in the ninth circle of hell in his Inferno, eternally gnawed by Satan. In William Shakespeare's Hamlet, the titular character compares his treacherous uncle Claudius to Judas. Modern writers such as Jorge Luis Borges and José Saramago have reimagined the Judas story, exploring themes of betrayal, guilt, and redemption. The enduring fascination with Judas in art and literature speaks to the universal themes at the heart of his story. Betrayal, loyalty, guilt, and forgiveness are timeless human experiences that transcend cultural and historical boundaries. Judas's story serves as a mirror, reflecting our own capacity for both good and evil. Section 9. Conclusion. Judas Iscariot, a legacy of ambiguity. Judas Iscariot remains one of the most enigmatic figures in history. His betrayal of Jesus is an act forever etched in the annals of human infamy. Yet his story continues to fascinate and provoke, challenging us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the complexities of faith. Was Judas a cunning traitor driven by greed, a disillusioned follower consumed by despair, or a tragic pawn in a divine plan beyond his comprehension? The Gospels offer no easy answers, leaving his motivations shrouded in ambiguity. This lack of clarity has fueled centuries of speculation, interpretation, and artistic exploration. Judas's legacy is one of enduring complexity. He serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of betrayal, the seductive power of greed, and the enduring consequences of our choices. Yet, he also stands as a testament to the enduring mystery of faith and the human capacity for both profound love and unimaginable cruelty. The story of Judas Iscariot, despite its tragic end, compels us to grapple with fundamental questions about human nature, the nature of evil, and the limits of our understanding. His legacy, like his story, remains a testament to the enduring power of ambiguity and the human need to make sense of the inexplicable.